but they are a collection of some of the most amazing, simple, basic, and powerful logo symbols and shapes. Now, what's really cool to me is that the collection is made from a variety of sources, but it's simplified into these black and white designs. When I was in school learning about design, I was always told that for a symbol to really work, it needed to work in black and white. Of course, back then in the olden times, they'd talk about, well, it needs to work on a fax machine or a copy machine. Of course, it's kind of irrelevant today, but when we're talking about logos, probably now, most of all, it needs to work really tiny in a little avatar screen, little window somewhere on some digital device somewhere is what really matters. And the more iconic, or in other words, simple a shape is, the more useful it is, or at least the more flexible it is. And that's really what we're talking about, flexibility. So I have some screenshots here that I want to share with you guys, talk about this a little bit more. So what I think is really cool and important about this is when you look at this collection of shapes, it's almost like, look at how they went through and found all these different ways to write the letter K or to create a shape or a symbol out of the letter K. Here's another one, right? This one's a collection of the letter A. I mean, when you really sit down and think about it, there are a bazillion different ways, and that's a scientific term, a bazillion different ways to do shapes out of a letter A. Multiply that by a bazillion other possibilities, and you really get to find out how many possibilities there really are. Ultimately, what I'm saying, and I say this to my students, is that there's always another idea out there. Sometimes I think we're lazy, where we just think, oh, I'm going to take the first idea and I'm just going to go with it. But have you ever sat down and tried to come up with this level of variety of shapes and symbols when working on something? I think that's what we're really talking about, is push yourself further and further and further. Try to make something more and more unique.